The year is 1989. Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2 were selling like hotcakes. And just like with many Nintendo franchises that were selling like hotcakes at the time, some third-party company would put Nintendo's mascots, including Mario, on fucking everything. Cereals, lunchboxes, watches, and even cartoons. Oh, and speaking of cartoons, the fellow dicks at Dick Entertainment decided to make a cartoon based on the Mario games. 3D to be exact, but I'll only look at the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show was first aired on September 4th of 1989, and would go on until December 1st of the same year. I had fond memories of this show growing up, mostly by watching some of the episodes on DVD, more specifically Mario Spellbound and the Mario Bros. Mix, both of which I lost because I don't know how to take care of DVDs properly when I was a dumb, stupid kid. The intro song on this show is...
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game.
Oh, rap song. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna be did in the next 10 or so years. The intro itself consists of live-action Mario and Luigi dancing very awkwardly in the green screen as their cartoon counterparts including Princess Toadstool, Toad, and King Koopa do what they normally do in the Mario games released at the time. Fly on carpets, sliding out flagpoles, bashing bricks, the usual. None of these actions are present in the actual cartoon, spoiler alert. To me, the intro's purpose is mostly to hype up the viewer on the show, as the lyrics doesn't explain what the show is going to be about. It just states that you'll be hooked on the brothers. Remember how I mentioned that live-action Mario and Luigi were very awkwardly dancing on a green screen in the intro? Well, that's because each episode of the show begins and ends with a live-action segment with a cartoon segment showing up in between. The live-action segment follows Mario and Luigi, portrayed by their voice actors Captain Lou Albano and Danny Wells, in their home in Brooklyn getting into some kind of wacky-sacky problem with a wacky-sacky special guest that either helps them with said wacky-sacky problem or is the main cause of it. The special guests vary from an actual celebrity, a phony, or a famous fictional character. Wanna do anything bringing Dracula was a good idea. Although they're not produced to the highest degree, the live-action portion is honestly one of the only things I liked about the show. The actors portraying the Mario Bros. Seem like they have a fun time with their roles, and it shows. Too bad the live-action portions only cover up 1% in the entire show. Now with the cartoon segment. The cartoon segment begins with its own intro, where it explains that Mario and Luigi were sucked into a warp pipe while doing their usual plumbing, and stumbled across Princess Toadstool and Toad, who were in the midst of trying to stop King Koopa for taking over the Mushroom Kingdom, I think. This segment would follow Mario and the gang going from kingdom to kingdom, trying to stop King Koopa from either A, terrorizing the kingdom and its residents, B, stealing some kind of artifact in said kingdom for his own use, or C, they fell into a trap by King Koopa and had to escape it. Almost all these situations include some kind of side character who will assist them in their struggles, almost all of them being entirely forgettable. Let me just say for the record, I don't like the cartoon portion of the show, and for many reasons. The episodes in the cartoon just kinda go all over the place, as there's no structure as to where they end up. They just so happen to be in that kingdom, and King Koopa just so happened to be there as well, doing some kind of evil scheme there for some reason. The episodes also either felt too dragged out or felt like everything is happening too quickly, especially when they try to act dramatic tension by having the characters do something completely stupid, like standing there doing absolutely nothing. There's no originality in the episodes either, as most of the plots are just parodies of other popular media such as Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. I think the cartoon portion would have been better if the episodes were more faithful to the original games and mixed the two plots of the first two Mario games and combined it into a more structured series. They could put some of their own elements to it, but not to the point where it seems like the characters can be replaced with literally anyone else and nothing would change. If Japan can do it, why can't Deke? They also feature covers of popular songs that was released at the time in their original airings, with songs such as Bad by Michael Jackson and Chains by the Beatles. And I don't know why. One of the worst parts of the show, aside from Toad and his godforsaken voice, has to be the animation. It's bad. The animation has not aged well in the slightest, and there's animation and continuity errors up the wazoo, such as Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. Okay, that's enough writing about the show as a whole. Let's write on an episode, shall we? The episode I want to talk about is episode 17, Two Plumbers and a Baby. I'll only talk about the cartoon portion of the episode since there's not really much to talk about the live action portion other than Lady lost dog and Mario Bros have to help her find it. The episode begins with Mario and company following a trail of footprints that lead to the Kingdom of Youth. Arriving in the Kingdom of Youth, they notice a group of old people arriving there as well. Why? Because there's a fountain of youth located there that can basically turn anyone younger. What they didn't know is that King Goo Goo Gaga Koopa is there to manipulate the fountain so that the old men can turn to babies and put them into slave labor for some reason. Also, why the fuck is he wearing a diaper? One chase scene later, Mario and the crew investigating the building to see Koopa's plan in full force until they're inevitably caught because Mario and Toad did an oopsie daisy.
It's the miserable Marios, that mushhead mushroom and the pesky princess.
You know, Koopa should really work on his insults. Then again, this is a kid's show. During another chase scene, the princess falls into the fountain and turns into a baby herself, which creates another conflict for the others to deal with. Great.
Koopa Pack, it's time to attack!
Watch out for the albatross!
Oh my god, another chase scene? There's already 3 chase scenes in the span of around 3 minutes. Slow down a bit. So after that, Mario, Luigi, and Toad are wondering how they're gonna take care of Baby Toadstool until...
She gets lost?
Well, not really. Baby Toadstool climbs up in a tree. Mario tries to get her off the tree, but oopsie daisy, the tree branch breaks and Baby Toadstool is falling to her demise. I mentioned before that the episodes either felt too dragged out or everything happens too quickly. This is one of those episodes where everything just happens way too quickly. In the span of 7 minutes, there's already 3 chase scenes and a subplot to deal with. There's just so much going on in this episode I can't remember by hand around what's happening because there's always something else going on in the next scene almost immediately afterwards. Anyways, Mario somehow makes the glider and flies down to save Baby Toadstool. I think this scene is missing a few frames here. In the waterfall, Toad tries to take care of Baby Toadstool by distracting him with a flower, but oops, the flower is a fan and their shadows there for some reason. Now Mario and the rest have to save her. Oh wait, they saved her. Next scene. After what just happened, Mario and the others try to make Baby Toadstool sleep. Mario tried to distract her with a lullaby and it didn't work. Toad tried to distract her with fireflies and it worked for a while until... god damn it.
And they're headed right for Koopa's castle!
Wait. That's Koopa's castle? Back in the kingdom, they noticed that the dial is removed, so they decided to build another one, but oh shit, Koopa's after them.
Good thing we used the extra pipe for this Koopa catcher, huh, Mario?
How can you fuck up this bad? So the Mario Bros used the newly built dial to launch Koopa to the fountain, where he too is turned into a baby. Quick question, how did he turn back to normal? He left in his baby form here, but in the next episode, he's back to normal. Oh, you know what, who gives a shit anymore? So they put the dial to use, the babies are turned back into their proper age, all goes well at the end. Also, why does every episode end with Mario making a food joke?
Princess, the only sitting I want to do is down to a big plate of pasta.
Wow, Koopa sure fucked up the city. I'm sure glad we stopped him before he set off a nuclear explosion.
Well, all this nuclear talk is making me hungry. How about we eat some pizza at this Italian restaurant that is in shambles at the moment?
And that's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. What do I think? Honestly, the live-action portion of the only saving grace of the show. They may be weird at times, but the actors provided such a charm to the performances. The cartoon portions are a much different story. I may have a soft spot for the cartoon because I grew up with some of these episodes, but there's just so many glaring flaws with it and it's just so hard to look back and enjoy them. The plots are original and inconsistent, the animation is outdated with animation errors here and there, 9% of the jokes are just stereotypical Italian food jokes which are not funny half the time, and I'm gonna get flack for this, aren't I? If the cartoon was more faithful to the original games and the running is more than just stereotypical Italian food jokes because they're Italian, then the show would actually be decent for once. Although they did fix it with the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, it didn't last long until Super Mario World came and f***ed it up. Well, that's all I really have to say about the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I don't know how to end this video off with. I know. Join the Mario! Swing your arms for side. Oh, you know what? Fuck this shit.